Do you feel like another year has passed and you have achieved nothing? Do you get more stressed than happy at New Year's? Do you feel like you wasted the entire year and now it's just not enough time to change anything? Well, think again. New Year's isn't just 2 months away, it is also 60 days, 8.5 weeks, 1,440 hours, 86,400 minutes, and more than 5 million seconds. So you're just on time. You have just the right amount of time to change yourself before you enter the New Year's, and you also have enough pressure that you stop procrastinating and actually get started. This video has been divided into chapters on external and internal rebranding so that you understand the process better, and at the end of the video there are specialized tasks for you so you have no more excuses to skip taking action right after watching this video. Now before we start, I want you to mark this very second of your life. This is the point where you are going to stop feeling sorry for yourself. I get it, life was hard for you, life was really unfair, and perhaps you had faith at one point but then you just lost it. But guess what? As long as you keep feeling sorry for yourself, life will give you a million more reasons and you will never get out of the cycle. Here on this channel, we are all about taking charge of our own lives instead of letting it run on automatic. Now that you're ready to win, let's begin. Let's first understand what rebranding is. Your brand is a quality that distinguishes you from everyone else around you. It is what makes you unique. It is what makes you you. To rebrand yourself, you first need to understand what your brand really is. And you do that by asking yourself some basic questions like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your values? Do you have any unfair advantages over others? Do you have certain insecurities or fears that are stopping you from success? Start by analyzing all of this on paper, because from here we are going to upgrade everything that serves your best interest and cut off everything that doesn't. Once you've noted everything, let us start with physical rebranding. Your first step is clean out your closet. Listen, I know you're waiting for the right time to wear that dress you bought 2 years ago. I know you're waiting to buy the right top with the jeans you bought way back and you haven't worn since. Anything you haven't touched in a year, get rid of it. The reason you have so many clothes in your closet but never anything to wear is because you're not making space for clothes that make you feel confident. I saw a girl mention this hack once. She asked to reverse the hanger in opposite direction after you've worn a particular piece of clothing. After a span of 6 months, you're going to check your closet, and every hanger that is in the same position as it was at the beginning, you are going to get rid of all those clothes because you haven't worn them in 6 months, and chances are you never will. I understand that sometimes we get emotionally attached to a piece of clothing, like maybe a dress you wore on a date that you really liked, but the memories that are worth keeping are always going to be in your head. You don't need a dress to remind you of those beautiful memories. Now that you've cleared space, it is time to find your personal style. Do you like sophisticated outfits? Do you like chic and classy? Do you like chill and laid back outfits? Do you like dresses, or do you like leather jackets, or do you like a blend of both? What you wear says a lot about who you are, so make sure you're making the right statement. Simply copying a style that doesn't resonate with you won't look or feel good. Another issue with blindly following trends is that you might be copying a celebrity or a model that has a completely different body type than yours, and you end up hating on your body even though it's not bad, it's just different. And if you style it according to your personal body type, it will look just as beautiful. Clothes need to fit you, not the other way around. Number 2 is invest in your appearance. I am not asking you to go broke trying to buy all the high-end products, but now and then spend what you can on skincare, makeup, nails, anything that makes you feel like that girl. The reason I am calling this an investment is because it will give you returns. And you might not understand that now, but you will thank yourself later. The important thing is having self-care days. You should have dedicated days for self-care. It can be getting a mani-pedi, it can be going for a spa, it can be going on a solo date, or just having a cozy shower and a movie night. Make sure you make it a weekly ritual. Now that we have all that down, it is time to visualize and act the part. Think about how you want to look. How do you want to dress? How do you want your mornings to look like? Do you follow a 10-step skincare routine? Do you go running and get a matcha on the way back? Do you go for Pilates? And once you've created a crystal clear picture of yourself, yourself, it is time to show up as her. You might not have the branded clothes yet, but you can still have the aesthetic. You might not have all the skincare products, but you can follow a ritual with the products you do have. This is not about owning the things that you want to own. It is about owning the attitude and the discipline of the person you want to become. Everything else will follow. Now that we've embodied our best selves, it is time for internal rebranding. Listen, you can look rich on the outside, but if you have a scarcity mindset, it won't last long. After rebranding on the outside, you must follow that with upgrading your mindset to suit that physical appearance. And the first step to doing that is decluttering. Room, people, and mind. A messy place is always going to be a messy mind. And you don't want to be entering a new era in the same mess, right? If you were the main character in the movie and you were about to take on the world, is this the room you'd want to be in? Make it an entire event. Pick out a playlist. Record a time lapse if that's what excites you, but get it done. I would also suggest you have a special place in your house or maybe in your room that is entirely decorated to your liking. It must be aesthetically and emotionally pleasing to you. For me, it's a little corner of my room where I have my ukulele hanging and I just burn candles over there and I have a stack of books. Looking at that always makes me feel at peace. Anytime you feel off, your space should make you feel at peace. It is a space by you for you. Now that we've decluttered our room, it is time to declutter people. New Year to me always feels like a chance to start over. It's like when you've been writing on rough pages all along and now you turn the page over and you have a clean white page and you neatly and carefully only bring the content of previous pages that you need now and you leave the rest, which means this is a good time to declutter people. Friends who aren't ever there for you, situationships that no longer serve you, people that stop you from being your true self, and love that didn't make it. It's okay to not like the feeling of leaving all that behind, but holding on will do you more damage than letting go. They had a role in your life, but now it's done and it's time for you to move on. This also includes people who aren't in your life, but they still have a big room in your head and in your heart. That brings me to my next point, digital decluttering. In today's age, we don't spend as much time with people and our friends as we do on social media. Think about it, even if you're someone who does go out a lot and who does hang out with friends a lot, every spare moment is spent sending memes to them or scrolling on your Instagram, which is why the biggest influences on us are the people we follow and the content we consume on social media. So take time to unfollow anyone that doesn't align with your future self, that doesn't improve your life in some way. Also, tap not interested to any content you don't want to relate to. For example, if you're dealing with a breakup, chances are your feed is filled with reels, with TikToks on breakups, on heartbreaks. Now, if you don't want to stay heartbroken forever, you need to stop consuming that. You need to stop liking them, you need to stop engaging with posts like that, and you need to tap on not interested. You need to stop consuming things that trigger your pain. So unfollow, mute, do whatever it takes to alter your entire feed and curate it to something that energizes you, not brings you down. Another great way to consume data that energizes you is through reading. Now, every confident person I know and every successful person I know reads a lot. And that is because when you read, you acquire knowledge, and that gives you the comfort, it gives you the confidence that in any room you can go and have a conversation. Even just reading fiction gives you so much cultural knowledge at times. I didn't know much about the Louvre before I read Da Vinci Code. I did not know a lot about Beethoven before I read Kafka on the Shore. You are always acquiring some sort of knowledge, even if just vocabulary, when you read. And if you're someone that easily gets bored or you think that there aren't books to your liking, there are a gazillion topics. There are so many genres of books. There are even picture books. Just go and find a book on a topic that excites you and start there. You can always come back to bigger topics once you get comfortable reading. Another way is through podcasts. There are literally no excuses for the ignorant anymore, because if you don't like reading, you have podcasts. If you don't like podcasts, you have documentaries. There are a million sources to acquire information these days, but you must acquire the love for learning. The new knowledge is what will separate you from your older self, and that includes everything you've learned, even through your own experiences, good or bad. See, mistakes can be a great guide if you take the time to learn the lessons it's trying to teach you. Only fools make the same mistakes over and over again, right? Be smart and use your errors to understand exactly what you need to change to succeed. Now is the perfect time to take a look back on your entire year, see your achievements as well as your mistakes, so you don't take take the mistakes over to the next year, only the wisdom they provided you with. Similarly, use your accomplishments to motivate you to go even stronger into the new year with a heart filled with gratitude. Now is the time to take action. Here are the tasks for you. Task number 1, write down what separates you from the crowd. What are your strengths, your weaknesses? What areas do you need to work on? And what qualities can you strengthen going forward? Number 2, clean out your closet and use the hack I mentioned. Number 3, find out what your body type is and Google OOTDs for that body type. See what kind of aesthetic speaks to you and try to experiment with different styles to find your own. Figure out what self-care routine works best for you and what you can sustain every single week. Feel free to switch them up once in a while if you want to. Write down your exact future self and start embodying her habits, discipline, and attitude. Clean your room, click not interested on anything you don't want to relate to in the future, and unfollow anyone your future self won't be friends with. Find one topic you're really interested in and get a book on that, listen to a podcast on that, and see a documentary if there is. Find what source of knowledge suits you the best and start expanding your knowledge using that source. Write down a detailed and thorough recap of your year. Write down the mistakes and along with them the lessons they taught you. Do so with every single mistake until you have an entire list of things you have to avoid going forward to succeed faster. Don't feel like you're stupid for making them, even if you made them multiple times. The fact that you're making this list right now shows you are turning into your best self. Pondering over your mistakes will only make you feel sorry for yourself. What matters here on is that the same list should not be repeated again. Write down your accomplishments and everything that you're grateful for. People who helped you in the times of need, moments that made you really happy. Things that bring you good energy are so important. And this particular list will help you understand what kind of things, what kind of people bring your energy to a higher vibration. And also will give you a solid proof that you can achieve anything. And even if you didn't accomplish anything this year, watching this video is an accomplishment. And if you follow any task, that is an accomplishment going forward. Because even after such a rough year, you are taking the initiative to turn your life around. And that shows potential. That says a lot about your strengths and what you're capable of achieving. That is something to be grateful for. With that, we have come to the end of this video. I am actively manifesting my goal, which I've mentioned in this video. And if you'd like to be a part of my manifestation, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Good luck!